And welcome back to Roguecraft here on Musicfreegaming. It's great to have you back, and it's finally happening, y'all. I'm going to be doing something about the iron farm, right? So I've been working on this tower for a while, off and on, really. I've got all the farms going up the sides, hides the mob farm, that's great. But aside from the fact that it's really wet down here, the iron farm, I've done almost nothing with since I built it in the first place, right? Still have the zombie running around doing his thing. Villagers are still there. Golems still spawn and die in a fiery pit, which is awesome. But honestly, I don't want to see any of this. I really need to close this up. Maybe replace that spruce that's up there, because that was just the material I had on hand at the time, right? I need to make all of this better, and I also need to stop swimming, because unlike what Dory says, I really don't want to keep swimming. That's true. Even this drowned is kind of wondering if he's made bad choices in life. But that is the goal today. So the challenge with this, however, is whatever I build to cover this all up can't be spawnable. I have to build it in such a way that the iron golems continue to spawn in there or on top of the villager huts, but they can't spawn here. I can't have them spawn on the outside or it breaks the iron farm. So that's going to be the challenge. And, honestly, I think it's not going to be that bad. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so the first thing I want to do, I think, is put a little bit of a skirt or walkway around the outside here. Now, these are bottom slabs, so that things aren't, like those guys, aren't going to spawn on them. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out, I don't know, 3 or 4 wide. What I want to do is line up with that corner, which I believe is 4 blocks out. Oops, that's in the wrong place. I can see this part of the project is going to take a while because of, my general lack of skill at placing blocks. But the idea is I want to come in under this block here, right? This corner, which is at -348 and -339, which is right here. And I'm going to start, and I'm just going to run a fence post all the way up to the top of the building through the corners of that block, those big farms. I'm going to go right through the corners with a fence and do the same thing over here and then on the other sides. It's going to take a little bit of, well, let's just say it's going to be slightly painful to get up there, but that's step 1. So I finished the first fence coming up to the top. There I am. Hi. Okay, but I'm not sure I actually like this look as it comes through. I did want something to sort of connect the farms so it didn't look like they were just sort of floating. But now that I look at it, I'm not thrilled with this idea. So I think this is going to come out, and I'm going to leave the top, and I'm just going to worry about that later in a serious future me move. I'll just focus on the bottom, and we'll see where this goes. So I've got this skirt done, this walkway around the outside of the tower. And I set up this nice little pattern here underneath the elevators going up. This is, for those of you who've never seen it before, this is mangrove wood, or mangrove planks, technically speaking. So I've got some mangrove slabs, I've got some deep slate tiles, right, all that good stuff. Now, past me left me a small problem in that I've got the glass that surrounds the water elevator that this zombie goes up periodically. Right now I've got the farm turned off, so he's not going anywhere. But the idea is I need something there. So I decided to take the mangrove around the corners. And I didn't do it on this side, but you can see kind of what it looked like before. And so just come in with some mangrove planks like this. Now, I think I have more. Yes. Now I need to bring up the floor. I may bring some tiled slabs up there, or I may bring the mangrove down into the floor. I haven't decided on that yet. But that was one of the big concerns, is how to handle these corners, especially with this glass here that I can't do anything with. The other thing I need to do, or need to consider, is this right here, right? This railway has been sort of my walkway, but it went to a storage area where I was keeping zombies to refill this, because I kept having zombies die while I was working on the design. You know, because iron golems would drop down onto the platform and they would kill the zombie, and that was bad. So I think the time has come to get rid of this. And unfortunately, all right, well, I'd like to get rid of it, but I do need to make sure that this rail actually turns appropriately. There we go. All right, now I'm not going to take the whole thing out yet. Okay. Because I still like the idea of maybe having a way to restock this just in case I lose another zombie. But I think I'm going to have another approach. So that's going to be another problem that I get to solve as part of this. But I think progress is being made. So I've made some progress here on at least one side. And this is kind of what I'm looking at. So these are the villager rooms with the iron golem spawning chambers above them. And you can see I swapped out the andesite for some stripped mangrove wood, added a whole mess of deep slate and some red glass, which blends amazing with the mangrove. Check this action out, right? This is nice. So that's where I'm at this point. So I've got a couple of things I need to do. First off, I need to figure out what's happening in these gaps here and here as I get all the way around this mess. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might want to make that solid in some way. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm really digging this deep slate and mangrove palette. Okay, yes, it does look slightly evil, I admit. And I may want to replace this, all of this, where I've got the crimson trapdoors. I may want to replace that with something else, like mangrove trapdoors. So, because that's just going to fit in a little bit nicer. So, yeah. And then I've got, out here on the sides where I've got the water elevator, I continued, like what I did down here, right, where I've got this platform coming around this way. I continued that up here, right? So, take the ladder because it's a little easier. So, I continued this all around here. So, I've got all of this area now that just walk around and then hop in the elevator and either get off the next floor or head down into the base. Now, I still need to figure this out, but I think this is actually going to be pretty simple. I'll just replace those slabs with deep slate blocks above them, because those are cobblestone top slabs right there. But otherwise, I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. And I really like, because I used bottom slabs, I've got the continuing the slab here, so it's a full block, and that gives a little bit of I don't know what the architectural term is, but it's a thingy at the base of the wall, which it looks cool. Yes, I did in fact get magazines of Architectural Digest. No, I don't know anything about architecture. It's okay. This is my world now. So anyway, so that's kind of how things are going, and I'm thinking that it's looking pretty good. I don't know if I want to add any more floors above this one. Just for consistency, I might come up one more so I'm above, like here you've got the spawning chamber for the iron golems there. I might want to come up and do the same thing here just to roof over. And if I do that, that gives me a couple of floors here I could actually do something with, maybe. I don't know what, and I still have to be careful of the iron golem spawning mechanics. But I do kind of like the idea of maybe branching this out and doing a little something more out here. Of course, I could just leave it open. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead because thinking is hard. Also, I'm not 100% certain I want to keep this. And if I take that out, you're not going to be able to walk around this floor here anyway. So, because it's all blocked by that thing. So, it's a question for future me to solve. But for now, I think I've got a pretty good design here. I'm happy with this. So you can see everything dropping in. You can see the action of the farm, which I like that. I want to be able to see what's going on in the farm. But I can do it without something. I can do it without free cam now if I want to. And it looks a lot better, right? This is looking so much better than just having this open like this. Now, I still have stuff to do. I've got to figure out what's happening on the first floor, and I need to figure out what's happening here in these gaps. But for now, this is a good step. I'm fairly happy with this. So it's time to consider the next thing. Okay, so I decided to just go with the glass look up here on this second level, I guess. Not exactly a second floor because there's no floor, but I decided to continue the deep slate walls coming across the top and the bottom, tile and brick, and then continue the glass. That way it blends nicely with this. I was a little worried about how this glass was going to interface with whatever I put here, but I think that's going to work out okay. And you look at it from the outside, and that's looking a lot better. I also decided to trim the corners off. It was looking a little bit, I don't know, it's just a little bit too much. So I pulled those corners off, and I think that's a little bit better. I also decided to extend this. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep this deep slate coming around the side here. But I kind of like how it breaks up the rectangle a little bit, because this is a very square building. By design, to be fair, but it is still fairly square. So I decided to go ahead and extend that out, and then I added a matching one down here on the first floor, right? And I've got all of this filling in. This, basically, it's just it's the mangrove stripped logs, and then I threw in some more deep slate wall. And this continues what you get from the villager chambers, right, coming up here. Right, you got the villagers in here. And I just decided to continue this design just right down here. So, again, it breaks up the space. And I think it works out pretty well. And then as you're walking through here, you can look in and watch all of the death and destruction happen as iron golems, you know, fall into the fiery pit. And also things like sugarcane and melons and pumpkins and stuff fall through from the farms above. So you can watch the whole thing happen. So this I think is going to work out pretty well. I'm liking where this is. I might want to change out in this corner just because you can see it a little bit, but right, I've got cobblestone coming up here. I could change that out. It's not, I was gonna say it's not really that big a deal, but it wouldn't hurt anything either. So I do kind of want to hide it, I suppose. Just a little bit. But things are okay. I don't know what I'm going to do, right? Because you can see, looking through the glass, right? You can see the corners. I'm not totally sure what I want to do with this, right? Because I could just fill this in. I don't want to fill it in with light, but I could fill it in with something. Right? Just to give it a little bit of excitement. But I have to do something that allows me to keep these levers handy. Actually, not handy. They have to stay there. This one I'm going to have to move. Because this is what controls the zombie, right? So I get over here, flip the switch. Well, and apparently nothing happens. In theory, it should make the zombie go. In practice, apparently, the zombie has decided it doesn't want anything to do with anything, and it's just going to sort of hang out there. So, let's go give him a nudge, shall we? So this should work. Just slide right on down. But apparently not. Anyway. It's working out okay. So, but I do need to keep that. Well, I said to keep it available, but honestly, as long as that's running, maybe it doesn't matter. The only catch is it's in a weird spot, so I may want to move it. But otherwise, things are mostly working out okay. So I've got 3 more walls to do, as is always the case with this building. It's like, okay, one's done. Can I move on to the next project? No. Nope, I've got lots more to do. So the worst part is getting the mangroves. Because those trees are not fun to chop. Those guys are a pain in the neck. But, okay. It's okay. We'll go chop some more of those, get some more mangrove logs, and just continue building this up. So I guess I'll bring you back when I get a little bit closer. All right. I think I have most of this done down here now. Got all the way around. I think I showed all of this stuff not too long ago. But let's go ahead and zoom out here real quick. And you can kind of see how it looks going all the way around. And I have some ladders around. I may spread some more out. But that is looking significantly better. I mean, seriously, that is looking a lot better. I wonder if I maybe should do something up here where these planks come up. But overall, I am really, really happy with this. Oh, I like how this works. I still need to do the top, but that may be a problem for another video. But, so yeah, so that's where things are going. Now, I have run into one issue as I was looking at this. Let's zip back up here. I've got the pipelines, right, which I did. I mentioned before I might change those out. Now that I have all of the mangrove wood in place, I'm 100% going to change that out from mangrove trapdoors. So, fortunately, I have a small mangrove forest. Unfortunately, harvesting mangrove sucks. Oh, it is so bad. So I got to get that done. The other thing is, while I was working on this, one of my iron golems got loose and killed my zombie. So I'm going to have to rig a way to get a zombie in there again. That's going to be painful, but I guess my first thing will be to get the mangrove, because that's fairly straightforward. And then I'll worry about the zombie. All right, I want to show you why I hate mangrove trees so much. I love the wood. Don't get me wrong. The wood is amazing. I love this red color. But there is so much vegetation for so little wood. I mean, look at this. Now this is several trees grown together, but it doesn't change things. There is just so much in the way of leafy goodness, which, you know, the leaves look really cool, but there's so little wood. It's like the giant oaks, right? Where, okay, yeah, there's wood in there, but man, it takes forever to dig around and find it. It's like if you combine the worst properties of a giant oak and an acacia tree. That's the issue. And then when you're done, okay, well, the leaves despawn, but you still have all of the roots hanging out too. So it's a pain in the neck. I am seriously thinking of building a farm for this. I might even break my no TNT duping rule, because I am just that unhappy with mangroves. But no, I'll be good. If I set up TNT on it, I'll craft up the TNT. But this part takes forever. I've had to harvest this a few times for the wood on the building, but it's okay. It's okay. There are worse things that could happen. I could not have mangroves, so you know there is that aspect of things. So you know, well, count your many blessings, as they say, and I will also chop many mangrove trees. But it's okay. It's going to be good. It's going to be good when it's done. All right, so I'm back. I have the first side done. Replace the crimson trapdoors with the mangrove ones, and I already think it looks better. It's just going to blend in better with the rest of the building, which is awesome. But it's a stack of trapdoors per side, which is annoying because trapdoors are way too expensive. But yeah, you can see the difference here with the mangrove on the left and the crimson here on the right. And it's just too pink, and the red of the mangrove just fits much better with, surprisingly enough, the red of the mangrove for the rest of the build. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of the rest of this, and then I think this will be good. It's not ridiculously hard. It's just a little bit of a pain to get around. It's easier than when I was doing this the first time, though, because I had to replace all of those stairs and stuff. So, since it sounds like things are going off in the background for dinner, I'm going to go ahead and get this rest of this pipeline in place, and then go enjoy some delicious food, and then I'll be back. Hopefully, you will have some delicious food, too. And that is that part of the tower done, finally. Put in the mangrove trapdoors. So that's awesome. Everything's blending together much better than it was before. And yeah, the tower's looking significantly better. Still zombie free, which I need to do something about. And I need to fix the top. But all in all, I think this is good. I'm happy with this. I am very happy with this. So on that, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, because I am pretty much out of recording time. It took a long time to get that done, but I will be happy to keep working and hopefully get the top on here in the next couple of videos or so. I'm not sure which, but soon, I hope. But until then, thanks for sticking around. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know how all that goes. And I will see you next time. Be excellent to each other. And this is Musicfreegaming signing off.